Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Life in Games. I've been spending a lot of time over the last 24 hours thinking about where I wanted to go after Archon, and thinking back to my family's Apple II growing up and really reflecting on that library. I'm sad to say there actually wasn't a whole lot there that was impactful for me personally. We had a lot of arcade ports on there, Zaxxon, Donkey Kong, Spy Hunter. I've played my fair share of Oregon Trail, sure. And, there honestly just wasn't a whole lot in there that I wasn't more comfortable or more familiar with on other platforms. So, as much as I'm trying to go in chronological order, we're going to jump ahead a little bit. There's a lot of things on the IBM 386, 486 era that I'd love to get into someday, but getting access to those games and setting up recording for them isn't as easy as it is with the things that I have ready access to on the PC. So while we did have Boulder Dash on the, um, which is what we're playing today, spoiler alert, here it is. While I did play Boulder Dash on the Apple II, I'm far more familiar with the Nintendo port of it. And this is a game that was important to me, not as much because I enjoyed playing it, because I actually didn't that much, but this was a game that my dad really enjoyed, and I watched him play it for ages on end. It was one of the few times where I really got to feel close to him because he was indulging in video games in a hobby that we both shared. And even though he never played much more than Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, 16-bit Sonic the Hedgehog was about where he drew the line. I tried to get him to play Sonic Adventure once, but the old man could never grasp his head around dual analog. He could never get through the hurdle of having to manage both the camera and the character at the same time, which admittedly I in hindsight, Sonic Adventure 1 was not really the best introduction to having to learn how to do that because that camera was buggy as all get out. But this one here, and I loved watching him play it because it had a solid soundtrack, it had a very good color presentation, and it was entertaining to watch, even though the gameplay myself I didn't find super engaging as a child. It was still a huge important part of my life growing up. So, without further ado, Boulder Dash. I actually don't even remember this screen. This one, definitely. So one of the fun things I loved about this game was the ability to select the color of your little dude. I think I played the white one a lot, just because I liked the color stark and how well it pops on the background, so I think that's what we're gonna go with. If I can find it again. This emulator is a little finicky on that input. You know what? We're just going to move forward and we're going to go with that. This was another game that we used the Game Genie a lot for, and let's just get straight up and rolling. So essentially what you're doing in this game is you're trying to find all of the diamonds and get to the exit without getting crushed by rocks or getting hit by the baddies, which I don't even know if there are any bad guys in the first level. Oop, that could have ended poorly. I know you have the ability to slightly push the rocks in later levels where you're going to have to deal with enemies that are trying to get you. It's also entirely possible to box yourself in, and the game has a couple of really cool death. It has a really cool death animation if you run the timer out, because your character will essentially turn into an old man and die in the cave. which is kind of fun compared to the normal death animation. Apparently you don't need all the diamonds to get out, but I'm still gonna get them because score. I mean, if we're not playing a video game for points, what are we really doing here? So, like, here's an example grade of a point where you actually have to push the boulder. And there's an example of the baddies, who I am just going to leave him in there, and we're not letting him out, because he was going to eat me, and I don't want to do that. Oh, and I did the thing! So, because you can't push 2 boulders in a row, I am actually stuck. I'm trying to remember. There we go. I swear, I think there is a code where you can commit suicide, so that way if you're boxed in, you don't have to just sit there and wait for the timer to run out. But I do not remember what it is. So away we go. That's okay, I don't need all the diamonds to get out. Just have to be careful and make sure I don't box myself in. Nope. So that one I can't push. Now, here's the tricky part: is you gotta find the exit too. In the first level, it's pretty straightforward. There we go. I'm probably only going to play this up through World 1, because I don't want the video to take too long. But I remember using the Game Genie a lot as a kid to have infinite lives, to level, jump around, because, you know, little 5- and 6-year-old me was just not very good at games. Not nearly compared to what I am today. And realistically, that was going to be the only way I was going to be able to see the end of a lot of games, was to use a Game Genie and cheat. Now, there's one other arcade port that we're definitely going to be doing at a later point in this series, and I'm going to try and keep to myself and not accidentally spoil it, because it is one of my favorite games. Whew, that was close. And I really just want you to hear the pure joy that comes when I get to talk about it. Alright. No. There we go. So yeah, I am sure there are speedrunners out there who play this game way more optimally than I do, who know how to get every diamond in every level. Me, I am just trying to get through the levels in one piece. Now, if I remember correctly, there used to be a way that you could just optimize... Because I think this is the first level where you actually have to drop the boulders on the baddies, because that's the only way to make diamonds and to get out of here. Whoop! That didn't work. Alright. Here's something we're gonna do. Oh, come on. Rude. Alright. I'm just trying to get the timing on this. Eat my shorts. Like, I remember as a kid vaguely being able to run just a square around this level and being able to just, like, get all the boulders in a perfect row, watch everything go kaboom, everything turns into diamonds, and it was glorious. Alright, how long have I been at this? Just a quick time check. So far it's only a 10-minute video, so yeah, we'll play for a little while longer. We'll at least play until I get game over. I've only got one life left. This is probably not gonna last too much longer. Okay, so I gotta get 4 diamonds. Yep, that did not go well. Oh heck, we're gonna play one more time. That's one solution. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that's one of the other things I forget about this game sometimes, is that you can actually go through and you can play the levels in any order. You're going to eventually have to clear them all, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think the strategy to this one is you want to create a bunch of dead space for the little penguins to run into. So that way, when you let them out, in theory, you should have plenty of options. That did not end well. Alright, we're gonna try a different level. We're gonna come back to that one. Oh, this one's super cute because now instead of boulders, we've got like little woolly mammoths and stuff that we use, and we drop them on people. It's so much fun. Did. Alright, I said just one more, and I lied. Apparently, adult Brian is not nearly as much better at these games than kid Brian was. Wait a ticker. Oh, I had it! And I just needed to get to the exit. Okay, I'm starting to remember how to do this. 99% sure the exit's on the lower right. Alright, let's make a nice big hollow square around the outside so these little penguin guys have plenty of space to run. And let him out when he's on the other side. Shoot, I was doing really well there, and then I just got sloppy because I just started getting into that muscle memory zone of going, I've got this, and then I let the penguin out way too early. But anyway, you can see how I kind of got lost in this game a ton as a kid. And it's the atmosphere, it's the music, it's the sensation of just... This game always felt very atmospheric to me, much in the way that, you know, I get really involved in, like, Metroid games, as another example. You know, you're taken away to another time, to another place, and it doesn't even matter that I'm pretty bad at the game. It's the playing this, I feel transported, like, into another world. Like, I don't have to worry about my job, I don't have to worry about my chores or my responsibilities. I can just sit here and listen to the music and try to dodge murderous penguins while I collect diamonds. And is the music just bleeps and bloops? Yes. Oh, I almost had that time. Alright, this is going to be the last run, because otherwise this video is going to start to get really long and really repetitive. So, what we're going to do here is... Oh yeah, I need to make sure that I create my penguin track. I need to have somewhere for the penguins to run around in circles once I let them out of the box. Part of this is just difficulty because I'm having a little hard time with the inputs. And that's where we end up into the classic Brian problem of trying to talk and trying to play at the same time. But hopefully this gives you a sense of this game and why I really enjoy it. And thanks for hanging out. Take care and have a wonderful day.